This is the last video of the year 2018, and since it is the 31st of December, it is also the last video of December Diaries. So today I'm going to be talking about the much talked about topic of setting New Year resolutions. Now, there are many ways of going about setting New Year resolutions. Some of us set very specific goals as to what we want in this next year. Some of us don't set any goals at all because we feel that we have let ourselves down in the past, and so there's no use setting any kind of resolutions. And some of us set big picture resolutions. Now, I personally have always looked at my life and the different areas of my life and set a few goals in each of these areas. I also leave a lot of scope for opportunities to come my way, but I put a lot of focus on who I am as a person and the habits and the disciplines I want to inculcate into my life, which will help me do whatever else comes my way. But this time I'm also doing something different, in which I am looking at 2018 and working backwards from that to create my New Year resolutions. What I mean by that is that I sat down when I was doing my 2018 review and I came up with 5 things that I would have done differently in the year. And these are not very specific things, but are very general things that I would have wanted to do differently, that I would have wanted to incorporate into my life to have had a better 2018. Now, my 2018 was a very good year and I don't have any regrets. I don't think I missed on certain opportunities, but I did not give my all in certain areas of my life, and I thought that I would write those down. And at first I thought I wouldn't come up with 5, and I did come up with 5. And what I did is I took those 5 and I turned them around and made them into goals this year. So I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Now, I'm reading from my notebook in which I did a lot of my reflections this year. So I wrote a list of 5 things. So I'm talking about the 5 things that I wish I had done differently in 2018. So the first thing that I wish I had done differently was I wish that I was more consistent in whatever I did. Now, I am a person who goes with the flow, but that also means that there are highs and lows in my life, and most of the time I let myself ride the highs and lows. So I'm very extreme in what I do, and when I decide to do something, I'm all in. But when that starts seeming a little bit monotonous, I stop doing it completely. So there are complete highs and lows in my life, and that's why I'm not very consistent in everything. I don't consistently give 100% all the time. I give 100%, I give like 500%, and then I give like 20. So that's my life, and that's not something I'm proud of. And I did work on it this year. I did ensure that I was not always going up and down, but I stayed kind of towards the up, but there was still room for improvement. And so that was one of the things I wish I had done differently. The second thing that I wish I had done differently was I wish I'd spent more time building relationships with people. Now, this is something that I love doing. I love spending time with people and talking to them, but I also am an introvert, and I also am someone who needs to isolate myself in order to recharge. And so I also separate myself a lot, and in that process sometimes I miss out on building that relationship with a person, or taking that extra effort to meet with a person and talk to a person and spend that quality time with a person, whoever that person is. And so this year I felt that I could have done more with my relationship with people, like one-on-one, and so that is something that I kind of regretted and I wish I had done differently. The third thing that I wish I had done differently was I wish I was always on top of things, and this is something that I've always wanted, and I worked really hard at it, but I fell short a little bit. But I did do better than the previous year. So being on top of things is being up to date on whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing, whether it is professionally or personally, being ahead of things preferably, but just being on top of things, just knowing that everything is in control and that I've done whatever needed to be done. And I tried to do that, honestly I did, and I did become better at it, but I didn't like become an expert at it. And so that's another thing that I wish I'd done differently. The next thing was, I wish I had set more periodic reviews so that I could get motivated more often. Now this is something that I talk about in one of my videos in December Diaries, is setting reviews with yourself. And it's something that I know, but I didn't do. I did a review in the beginning of the year. I did a review when I turned 26 on my birthday, but the next review was only this week. So in the middle of that, a lot of my goals, a lot of my ideas, a lot of the things that I wanted to do got lost, because by the time I realized I had to do them, it was too late and there wasn't enough time to actually accomplish them. And so I wish that I had done more periodic reviews so that I could like recenter myself and refocus myself on the things that needed to get done and the things that I wanted to get done. And the next thing that I wish I would have done differently was, I wish I'd taken the time to become a more deeper person. I did read a lot this year and try to keep myself up to date on what was going on in our world, in my country, in the locality that I'm in. But I think I could have done better in understanding people, in understanding situations, in understanding pattern. And I think that is something that I really want to get into this year, making sure that I have some depth in me, and the depth is only gained by widening my world, widening my exposure to the world, and understanding different perspectives of the world. So these are the 5 things that I wish I had done differently. And so I took these 5 things and I turned them upside down and decided that these are the 5 things that I'm going to focus on in the next year, and they're going to be a part of my New Year resolutions. And so the first thing was that I wish I was more consistent. So my New Year resolution is to be more consistent, to ensure that I am more disciplined, I am more strict with myself, and I don't lose steam in the middle of doing something, which is something that I do. So I just want to be on all the time. I want to be full steam ahead all the time, and I want to be consistent in whatever I do. So I want to start at a place where I know I can do it. I don't want to start with really grand ideas of what I can do, but with very realistic views of what I can do and what I want to do, and whether I can achieve it in the time that I have. And I want to achieve it. I want to finish things and be consistent in whatever I take up. And so that's one of my first New Year resolutions. Second thing that I wished I had done differently was spend time building relationships with people. And this is the thing I'm turning into my resolution this year, where I'm going to take that time intentionally to get to know more people and get to know them and connect with them on a deeper level. That is something that I want to focus on, because I understand that there are different phases in life where we have to focus on different things, but I think the phase where I have to focus on people has come, and I want to be able to focus on them and take that time to build relationships with people and connect with people in this world. And so this is what I'm gonna do in this new year. The third thing that I wished I had done differently was that I had been on top of things. And so this year my resolution is to be on top of things, and it is to do with every area of my life, whether it is professional, personal. I'm gonna be on top of things. I'm gonna plan like crazy, and I'm gonna execute like crazy. These are 2 things that I'm gonna do for sure this year, and I'm really charged up about it, because I really want to have that feeling of accomplishment when I see my list and know that I've done almost everything on it. And the thing that's going to help me accomplish all this is going to be the periodic reviews, which again I wished I had done last year, but I'm going to do it this year. I've actually thought that I'm going to do a weekly review, because I think I need that push by myself every single week, and I will still do like a quarterly review, maybe like a big picture quarterly review, but I want to do a weekly review for the smaller goal-oriented things which can be accomplished in smaller amounts of time, because otherwise I think I get lost in life and I tend to take it easy, and I don't want to take it easy because I have enough chilling time, but I will never get this time back in my life, and so I want to make sure that I am not taking it too easy and pushing myself by these periodic reviews that I'm going to do weekly and also maybe monthly or quarterly. I don't know, I still haven't figured that out yet. That's something I'm going to do tomorrow, which is the 1st of January, where I'm going to take that time to figure out what all I'm going to do this year, and I think these reviews are going to be a big part of that. And the last thing that I wished I had done differently was that I wished I was a more deeper person, that I was a more knowledgeable person. And so this year I'm going to take it upon myself to read more, consume more good things and not the junk that I tend to consume sometimes, and focus on things that are good and focus on things that are informative and read books by people who know what they're talking about. And so this is something that I am going to focus more of. I have read quite a few books last year, but I know I can do better, and I know that I spent a lot of weeks in this year not reading a single book, and so I don't want that to happen again. And so I'm going to take that effort to be more in touch with the world around me and in touch with people who know what they're talking about, which will give me some depth in my knowledge. So these are 5 things that overarch large aspects of my life. They are not very specific resolutions, but they are resolutions which make a difference in many areas of my life altogether, and for that I'm really excited. So this is something that I tried different from the previous years where I've set resolutions, and I'm hoping that it will motivate me more because I've seen what not doing them has done, and now I will want to do them, and I hope that I can achieve them in this new year. So if you are also going through the process of setting resolutions, I encourage you to think back at your year and think back at what you would have done differently, and then turn it over and make it into a resolution for the new year, which will enable you to start your new year right. And I hope that whatever it is that you have planned for this new year, that all your dreams will come true, because all of us are working towards something, and I wish that all of us will reach wherever it is that we want to reach. And I thank you for watching this video. I thank you for following me on this journey of December Diaries. These videos are up on a playlist called December Diaries 2018 if you want to watch any of these videos any time of the year. And I thank you for being on this journey with me, and I will see you next year.